This is a very big Italian stigma, the good old-fashioned Malocchio.
He's got the evil eye. C'hai il malocchio. You understand, signorino, il malocchio.
Mama, it's a dead man.
Guys, I thought this was a really funny topic for today because I know how much we love talking about and how much you guys love hearing about some of the crazy backstories I have from growing up Italian. And I don't know if we ever really discussed just all the, I want to say funny, but just weird things surrounding Italians thinking that people have bad energy or that they could actually do something to them by wishing it. Cawfee Talk. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cawfee Talk, where the coffee's strong and the talk is real. Today, I have a solo episode, and I want to demystify something for everyone. This is a very big Italian stigma. It is the good old-fashioned Malocchio. Guys, I thought this was a really funny topic for today because I know how much we love talking about and how much you guys love hearing about some of the crazy backstories I have from growing up Italian. And I don't know if we ever really discussed just all the, I want to say funny, but just weird things surrounding Italians thinking that people have bad energy or that they could actually do something to them by wishing it. And maybe there is more truth to that than there isn't, because we constantly talk about how if you put things in the universe, it'll come back to you. And, you know, the power of speed, the law of attraction, the power of speaking things into fruition. And Italians have been known to do this forever. I don't know if any of you guys know, if you are listening and you're not Italian, or, you have something very similar. I think Greeks call it like matta or something. It basically, Italians, especially old school Italians, believe that people could curse them. And this is the myth of the Malocchio. And I, from a very young age, and I think it's just so funny, I was just born to believe that things like this could happen, so much so that I'll give you an example before I tell you about my one childhood trauma. I think that, and it makes sense to some degree, like there is something with Italians who we don't want to tell people when we have like something good happen, because people will wish bad upon it. Like if you got a promotion or if you're up for a promotion, it's almost like, and I myself do this now as an adult. If something good's going to happen to me, I learn not to tell anybody because I'm afraid people will really not want it to happen for me, and then it won't happen. I don't know if that makes sense. I think a lot of people are cautious and careful, but I have always been the type of person to believe the best in everyone. And I have always even loved it when my peers in comedy got like things that maybe one day I would want. Whenever I saw somebody win, it kind of inspired me and it made me happy for them. But I do believe that, and I do believe a lot of other people are like that. I don't think I'm the exception, but I do believe just as much that there are probably people who don't wish the best for others, and even if they pretend that they do. And so as I get older, I kind of do believe that there are people that do wish bad things upon you or aren't happy or grateful when you get something. I'll never forget, Chaz was telling me a story about how one of his friends once said something to him like, geez, I wanted you to win, just not this much. Like he was a fellow actor or something. And that is such a bold, and like from somebody who you think is your friend, that would knock me like to the ground, because I just would never imagine a friend really not wishing what's best for you. But I do think that our grandparents or parents took it to a whole other extremes. I remember as a kid, I was leaving for school. I was in pre-K. So I was 4 maybe. And as my mother was getting me dressed for my first day of pre-K, my grandmother said before I got dressed, wait, I had one of those, those little white undershirts they put on us kids, and my grandmother pinned a red ribbon to my little t-shirt before my mother put to my undershirt. And that was, to protect me from the evil thoughts of who in pre-K was wishing anything bad upon me. Who in pre-K was jealous of my frizzy, curly hair that my mother used to comb straight? I looked like I was in the Jackson 5. Like, I was not cute whatsoever. I just wasn't a cute kid. I'll post a picture in one of these clips. Like, who was good? What pre-K, what 4-year-old was wishing anything bad against me? What teacher, like, the mentality behind some of their things. And I think it's because Italians were passionate and we love. I'll never forget when I was leaving for school. I think it was probably still pre-K. My grandfather made me come up with a security word, which, maybe this is a good idea, but the comedy does come with it. Like, I think it was like strawberry or butterfly. And then if anybody ever said they were coming to pick me up from school and they said they were friends with one of my parents, that I would ask them to say the security word. So if they didn't say strawberry or butterfly, then I knew that they didn't know the word and I wasn't supposed to go with them. And I guess it is a smart tactic. We do know that there is, has been kidnapping and, we read stories about trafficking and terrible things that could happen. However, it's, again, even throughout all of elementary and middle school, and I'm not saying that only attractive kids should be kidnapped, but I just didn't have it going on. And I think the problem is that I was, the only grandchild on my mother's side, and I just think I don't know, they just thought, like, first of all, nobody wanted me. Probably the minute somebody kidnapped me, I would have never shut up and they would have threw me out of the car. They would have been like, let them have her. She does not come up for air. But it's just this overfixation with their grandchildren and their children that they just, which is great and it's beautiful. And I'm not a mom, so I can't speak to it. I know a lot of people glorify their own children, but I do think it's just funny that, everything I did was like, don't tell anybody she's good in school. Don't tell anybody, like, it was like people were going to wish something bad against me. If I got sick, my grandmother said it was because the neighbors said I was cute or something. Like, she always felt like somebody was cursing us. And I don't even know where it generated. And I probably what I should have done is the history on this before I brought it up on a podcast episode. But I just thought it was, so funny. I know that as I get older, I will say this. I don't believe necessarily that people can curse you. Maybe you guys disagree. Tell me in the comments. But I can say this. I can say that bad energy is something I can pick up on now. And I get heightened senses. And if I don't like somebody the minute I meet them, or if there's something off, I listen to that feeling. I trust that feeling, or that, I do believe that, like, your gut will tell you when somebody's not right or somebody's not really happy for you. And I've said this before on the podcast, and I'll say it again. I have had to, in my personal life, up until very recently, limit access of myself to other people who have been toxic in my life, and people who are even of immediate family. And as Italians, it's like, yes, we don't trust people, and yes, we think there's, could be bad energy, and we believe in curses, but at the same time, we have this like strict like loyalty to like family over everything, and family is everything, even when it could be really unhealthy for us. So as I evolve and as I get older and as I meet other people and as I, hopefully rise to success and at the same time, deal with personal, mishaps or tragedies or loss of loved ones, that I really know who's in my circle and that I protect myself at all time. And at this point in my life, the only people I am close with, the only people who are allowed real access to me are people who are on my team, people who want to see me win. I had a conversation with my friend this morning. She went through a loss recently, and I was dealing with something this morning, and I said to her, I only want the kind of friends in my life at this point, because we're all so busy, right? We're all doing a million things. I want the kind of friend that if I don't speak to you in a week, if I haven't maintained our friendship by talking to you every day, that if something wonderful happens to me or something terrible happens to me, I can pick up that phone and call you, and you are going to either be thrilled and celebrating my joy, or you're going to, in that moment, be able to stop, drop, and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What can I do for you? I'm here with you, even if you're in another state. And I guess I do believe to some extent that there is this Malocchio, that there is this bad energy that could really affect, things that happen in your life. But I also believe it's because you allow it. And I no longer allow it. I no longer allow people who aren't wishing me the best or who I don't trust in my circle anymore. Listen, things will happen in life. I've had to recently deal with the loss of a family member in a completely unexpected way. And because of that, I now have to deal with family members that I would no longer really want to communicate with, because I am putting my big girl panties on and I am saying, for a day or two, we can all come together. We can mourn the loss of a loved one. We can be civil, and we can, honor the life of someone we all loved, even if we don't all get along. But I guess the old school Italian way in me will make sure that when I'm sitting or standing around those people, that I'm not talking about anything personal in my life. I'm not divulging anything. I'm not sharing. I'm not giving them access to things I'm thinking or what's happening with me. They can look online. They can listen to this podcast. I'm not completely not in the public eye, although I'm not necessarily a public figure. They can know things about me, but I won't allow them to wish anything bad upon me that could really come true, because they don't have that access. So listen, guys, maybe I'll wear a red bra the day I have to see everybody. Maybe I'll have the little cornet. What do you got? We used to call it the cornetto. That the little. Everybody thinks it's a pepper. It's like a horn. You wear around. Maybe I'll wear one of those. Maybe I'll wear my necklace. I have a gold necklace that has this. Maybe I'll wear that underneath my shirt, for the services of my loved one, just in case. Maybe it'll make me feel better psychologically. But I think at the end of the day, I feel safe, and I feel that I'm going to put good into this world. I'm going to love. I'm going to be kind. And I'm not going to allow anyone or any bad energy to affect me moving forward. And that is really what my wish is for all of you guys. Listen, if you got the horn hanging from the car, or, you believe any of the old school things, olive oil, whatever we used to do in the water. I mean, there was a ton of things we do to keep the bad energy away. I want you to share with me maybe one of your funny Malocchio stories, or perhaps tell me, how you felt about this episode. But at the end of the day, guys, my wish for you all is that you just know that put into the world what you want to get out of it, and don't worry too much about the Malocchio. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love having these solo talks with you guys. I love the comments. I love responding to every single one of you. You know that I do. And maybe I'll have to just write a joke about the Malocchio at this point. But all that can be heard at a show If you come see me live, I have Rutherford on the calendar, Nyack, West Nyack, Rochester, Red Bank, New Jersey, Emmaus, Pennsylvania, Sanford, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Burbank, California, Hollywood, California, Stamford, Connecticut, Atlantic City, and next year, my first date on the book for 2026, because there was such a high demand and you guys sold me out on a Wednesday. I got 5 shows on a weekend in Naples, Florida at Off the Hook Comedy Club. I got to be honest, guys. If people are wishing me bad, everyone listening to this podcast has wished me so well that that's the kind of schedule I have. And I love you all for it. Thank you. This is another Cawfee Talk with Tara Cannistraci. Make sure you go to tarajokes.com for all my shows, or if you want to grab your mug. Some of you have sent me pictures of you with your mug. My merch is on there too. Have a great one, guys.
Cawfee Talk.